Oh, hey. Hi, welcome to La Plaza. My name is Messi and I work here with Visitor Services. I hope you come visit us here at Calle Principal where we have amazing holiday decorations. Have season.
Hello, I'm Natalie Moreno-Cason, La Plaza's Deputy Director. For the holidays, I enjoy spending time with my dogs and my husband and eating Mexican wedding cookies. Happy holidays.
Hello, I'm Armando Rodriguez of the Edible Teaching Garden and Culinary Arts Program at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. And I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season and a happy new year.
Happy holidays, everyone. My name is Cecilia. I work here at La Tienda at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. I welcome y'all to come do your holiday shopping here at La Tienda the next time you're here visiting our museum.
The marketing and communications team want to wish you and your families happy holidays.
Feliz Navidad, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, happy new year. My most favorite memories of the holiday season is making tamales with my mom and baking cookies with my nieces and just kind of enjoying the holiday feeling.
Hi, I'm Sara from Visitor Services here at La Plaza, wishing everyone a safe and happy holiday.
Hola, bienvenidos. Good evening, buenas noches. My name is Abelardo de la Peña Jr. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. Welcome you to En Casa con La Plaza, Dan Guerrero Holiday Happy Hour. En Casa con La Plaza, of course, is our virtual programming. We've been at it since April of 2020, but tonight is a special one. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. I usually talk about what's going on in La Plaza, but you'll hear it from the people behind the scenes. So let's zoom in, Dan. Let's get this started, please.
I can't wait because I have my special holiday stemware here. And as you see, a very tasteful sweater.
As always, Dan, you're looking good.
But you know, please, I did not buy this. I did not buy this. And I can't remember who gave it to me because I want to write them a nasty note, but I can't remember who it was. But I thought, well, if I don't wear it tonight, I'm never going to wear it. Anyway, yeah, we're going to have fun tonight. That's going to be so cool. Don't you think?
Oh, I know. So, I mean, this is the third holiday happy hour in the past 3 years. The first one, you had Linda Rodstadt, Louis Perez.
Yeah.
Last year, and last year you had those three young ladies who were doing the performance.
Oh, right. Latina Christmas with Sandra Valls and right. Wow. Yikes, we're getting old.
Yeah, we are. But better.
Oh, we're still here. Anyway, we are going to have a wonderful show tonight. Are you in the Christmas spirit? I totally am. I have a 7-foot tree over there already. And then that one over there is one of 4 or 5 around the place. You know why? I was collecting ornaments for so many years that even with a 7-foot tree, I'd had so many left over. So I put little trees and then I do garlands over the artwork. I put ornaments there. And that one, Patsy Valdez did that one.
Oh, that's a beautiful wreath.
Yeah, she always does something that she makes herself. So I love that. I love that. And it's subtle, like the sweater. That's why I like it. So we should get started, don't you think?
I think so. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go away for a little while, but I'll be behind.
But don't go too far.
No, I'll be sticking around.
Okay, all right. We'll see you in a minute. Well, tonight's guest, we're so excited. She joined La Plaza earlier this year as CEO upon the retirement of longtime CEO John Echeveste, who's on a sandy beach somewhere, I'm quite sure. She comes to La Plaza with 30 years experience with a local cultural arts, communications, and entertainment organizations, not the least of which is the Music Center, where she was senior, I want to get this right, because senior civic strategist. That sounds like such a scary job. Strategy, that's like trying to see the future, right? So we're going to meet her, and we are also going to get to meet a lot of the staff there at La Plaza, because we started thinking, we get people from all over the country. They Zoom in or Facebook Live from all over the country. We've had guests Zoom in from Mexico City, from Canada. And so they never get to go to see La Plaza at all. So they hear about it, but we thought, let's really get them to see some of the exhibitions. Well, they can't see screenings, but anyway, we're going to have a behind the scenes look at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. And we're going to start with the head honcho. Instead of head honcho, I don't know if that's a word, but anyway. So zoom in, Leticia Rhi Buckley. Hey,
hola. Hello. Hello.
How are you? I love that festive background.
Thank you so much. See, I keep trying to...
Wait, something. There you go. Wait a minute. Go forward a little bit. There. Do not move the entire interview, and you're fine.
Salud.
Salud. Thank you for having the happy hour still going.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me. And I just have to say, I was 5 when I started, because 30 years, as you're talking about it, it's like, holy.
That's why I say nearly 30 years.
Exactly.
Because if you say over, they're going to really expect a genuine viejita.
Exactly. I mean,
look how young you are.
I las ganas, they're in there, but it's
those aren't ganas. Those are highlights.
It's wisdom.
Well, for the most part, But I want to get right to the nitty-gritty. Right to the nitty-gritty.
Uh-oh.
You are an East LA girl.
I am.
Yeah, East LA. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Montebello High School. So so I'm sort of at I talk about it at the triangle of Commerce, East LA, and Montebello, because I was sort of in the middle of all that. So
that's good genes. That's good genes.
Exactly.
Very good genes. Tell me about your parents.
Sure. Well, I am first generation. So my mom is from Delicias, Chihuahua, grew up in Juarez, and spent a lot of time in El Paso. And in fact, we were just there this weekend where I got my cowboy boots and my hat and had lots of birria. And my dad is from Guadalajara. And so, and I'm very lucky that they are both still around and still healthy. And they were the life of the party at my cousin's graduation in El Paso.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Nothing's more important than family. That's for sure. Now, it's interesting because you have had this long career, though, as you say, you're what, 20, 25?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, so many times I talk to people, when did you first know you want to be an artist, an art director, or whatever, and I'm thinking chances are slim. You were growing up saying, I'm going to be an arts advocate and administrator. I mean, where did that come from?
What? You mean that's not what every kid wishes and dreams of?
Well, I don't think so.
I will say I didn't either, actually. I was going to be a lawyer. First in my family to go to college. And funny enough, you really want to hear it? Te voy a dar un chisme. When I was in high school, one of my classes, it's the same class that we studied the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's, whole other story. Did a whole thing on Lord of the Flies, and we had a mock court, and I got to be a lawyer. And it was then that I sort of got the bug. This was sophomore year or something, and I was like, I'm going to college. I'm going to be a lawyer. That's what I'm doing. Everybody knew it. And then when I was in college, between junior and senior year, I went to Loyola Marymount. I studied abroad in Germany. Let me say that. And decided when I came back that I just wasn't ready to do another 3 years of school. So I made the pivot, and really my career started in live entertainment. So I worked at a concert promoter, and I worked at Ticketmaster when it wasn't as big and scary as it is today. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, scary is the operative word there.
And so really that was the path that I took through marketing and communications and live entertainment. And I worked my way to arts and culture. And really at that point discovered, it was actually when I ran my own business. Oh boy, how much of this do you really want to know?
Well, it's interesting because people's trajectory, you even getting into entertainment was probably something foreign from your growing up and what your parents did.
100%. Yeah. Well, and the reality is it wasn't until I got to La Plaza and this job that my parents really started to understand what I do as a career. And even then, I think they're still like, what? You're what? What do you do?
Mija, look for something solid.
Exactly.
Look for something
exactly.
solid.
How many times are you going to change jobs?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, being at La Plaza, in all seriousness, it really it's a real full circle, right? I mean, when I talk about what we're doing and the various kinds of opportunities, it just really resonates with my family because they can connect to it. My parents came to the Vicente Fernandez tribute, and so it's a really wonderful full circle for me.
But también what I'm seeing from what you're telling me now is that it's not only full circle in the way you describe, but it's full circle because it's like you're getting to use all of those pieces from the years in here, the years in communication. It's like you finally get a gig where you go, wow, I can use all of my talents.
Yeah. That's really, really intuitive, Dan, because that actually is the truth. And the reality is, and somebody had asked me at one point, because I served as acting executive director of the Department of Arts and Culture for the county at a certain point, and somebody had asked, but you were the director of communications, how do you make that switch? And for me, it's like, it's all about how you tell the story, right? It's all connected. And really, I get to just continue doing that. I mean, I happen to have a really wonderful story to tell with La Plaza.
Yeah. Wow. I know that I can't even imagine because John, who we all love, of course, retired. And so there was not only a national, but an international search to fill that position. I mean, I think they went to Tijuana, but that's
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, but it really was, that's a serious gig to fill. I can't even imagine it. And you know what? People say there's hundreds and hundreds of people out there looking for work, and that's true. But how many can do what that job is? That's not such a gigantic group. Not to say it wasn't competitive, I'm sure it was, but that's a really hard thing. How long was the process? How many meetings must you have had?
Oh boy. It was a 9-month process going through it. And I had, I don't really remember how many meetings, but they were each one of them were really exciting and interesting because I got to learn a little bit more and I got to meet more people as part of it. But, I'm very familiar with La Plaza. I'd been very familiar with La Plaza. John and I go back many, many years. He doesn't remember that actually I consulted for VPE when he was at VPE. And so, in PR. And so long history of it. And it was a daunting thing, right? John is somebody who I really respect and admire and inspired a generation of Latino entrepreneurs, right? And Latino leaders. And when this came up, it was like, I owe it to myself, I said to people who asked, to explore every opportunity.
Yep.
And it was a really wonderful experience. It was daunting, definitely, because, I wanted the gig. I'm not going to pretend.
Sure. That's right. Well, it's funny when you say about Minnie, because when I saw you at La Plaza at some event, I said, I'm so happy to meet you. You said, we actually met at the Dolby, right?
We did.
I know.
Yeah, I was thinking about that just yesterday, Dan. When I was doing PR for Cirque du Soleil's Iris at the Dolby Theater. You came and you did a fabulous piece.
Right.
The show. We got to hang out up in the balcony for a little bit.
That's right. See, life, we always say there's 15 people and we all just keep running into each other, putting on a mustache, glasses.
Exactly. Exactly.
But we're all, and that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing. There's a real sense among the Latino community of the arts and entertainment. We all know each other. We've been in the trenches together for years. And we've seen growth in our community. We've seen things get better, still a lot of work to do. But, and it's a real family feel, And that's what I love about La Plaza as well. It is like I feel like part of the family, even though mostly Zooming.
You are part of the family. I am telling you, turn around. There you are.
I'm like a bad rash. I'm everywhere. Now, there have to be certain challenges, I would think, when you go, and not just at La Plaza, anywhere where you become a new CEO, somewhere, whatever, you know, there's got to be special challenges, a different style, you know, making your own footprint without freaking everybody out.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I think you nailed it. It really does come down to the fact that I'm the new one, right? Not the staff, not the people who have been there and who have really nurtured the place and who have really, you know, just been these amazing stewards of La Plaza and the mission. And the hardest part of it is just stepping in there and ensuring and letting everybody know, like, I know you don't know me and I have to build your trust, right? Like, that's really what it comes down to. I intentionally, and this has been my experience and throughout my career, right? You don't walk into a room and say, I'm going to change the colors of the room and I'm going to put in new drapes and I'm going to, you know, it's very much about understanding and getting a sense of what this place is. It's living with it, right? It's I talk like it's living with the popcorn ceilings in the new house that you just bought.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just wait, maybe you'll decide it's a really cool aesthetic. Like, hang back and take it in. So that really, you know, it's the most challenging, is just wanting to ensure that people feel heard, and that nobody is feeling like the rug is being pulled out from under them, because there's lots of change going on, not to mention everybody coming through what is kind of the other side of COVID.
True. That's right. Because you started in the spring, right?
I started in April. Yeah. So, you know, La Plaza had been open for a while. It opened the year previously on a limited basis, right? Smaller capacity. But people still working from home, and there was all this change, and, you know, everybody knew about the process, the interview process was happening. And so there was a lot of unknown, and, you know, a little bit of the ground under them being shaky. And the last thing I wanted to do was come in and sort of like jump on that ground to make it fall apart, right? So that really has been both, I would say, the most challenging, but also the most inspiring, because it's really just getting to know the people that I'm working with, right? My colleagues, people that I get to spend a lot of time with, and really recognizing that we're all in it for the same thing, which is what's really inspiring.
And following the mission of this beautiful, beautiful museum that really is still fairly new. A decade for a museum is like brand new.
Yeah.
I remember it was several years I'd mention it and people go, where is that? I'm going like, what? You don't know La Plaza? You know, it's a big city with a lot going on and a lot of stuff being thrown at you, and visibility is important, and that had to be built. And there were some bumps along the way, but it's still a very new organization. How it has, it's just, you know, well, we're going to be meeting some of your staff. You already met some at the very top, but considering the programming and considering the screenings and the galas and the events and the rentals and people rented for, and that place is buzzing 24/7.
Yeah.
And considering that, it's not the biggest staff in the world. I mean, you got a lot of people there, but you all do an incredible amount of work. I mean, Abelardo says he hasn't slept since 2019. No, but seriously, there is something happening there all the time.
Yes, very much so. And, you know, I mean, the thing about La Plaza, and to your point, you know, I stepped in at a really exciting moment in time, right? Because, and all credit to John. I mean, he had people before him, but over his 8-year tenure, the foundation that was built in partnership with the founders and the board and the staff, but, you know, building that external presence, like, sure, people still need to learn about it, but like those that know, right, how critical this place is. And so it's really stepping in at a moment really honor that and honor that legacy and recognize that that foundation is laid. You know, I get to just build on it, which is amazing. Right now, it's just thinking about, okay, we're in this moment of evolution. What do we want it to be now? Where are we headed? What need should we be providing or filling for our community? And that is a really exciting place to be at the moment for us.
And where do you see, because you know, in museums, obviously things are planned so far in advance. I mean, you know, you're planning an exhibition. We're talking to Karen in a bit, 2 years off, et cetera, et cetera. So where do you see the museum going in the next few years? Any tangible things, like the cocina is new, which we're talking about. What plans are afoot that maybe were already started and that you will now carry through to fruition, and maybe some things that, and you know what, we're thinking of a water feature. I mean, you know, what, and I know this is a ridiculous question, but where do you see this in a few years, you know?
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, my goal for La Plaza is, you know, we're a museum, but we're also a cultural center.
Absolutely.
Right? We are a community hub. We're a space that should be accessible to all and that should be reflecting programming that is relevant to all, right? And so, and when I say all, I mean Latinos in Los Angeles, right? And honoring the foundation of the Mexican and Mexican Americans and looking at what that means in Los Angeles, and what it means, you know, when we talk about Latinidad, what does it mean to be Latinx? What does it mean to be, there's so much intersection amongst our community, right? I mean, we've got immigrants and, you know, undocumented folks. We've got, it runs the gamut, and La Plaza is a place where we can all converge and have those conversations while also celebrating through music and food and family, you know, gatherings. I mean, that's one of the things that I actually find so special about La Plaza is the multi-generational component of it, right? Like walking around there and, you know, you can be there with your abuelita who can think back and be like, I remember, you know, the Bracero program. And then sitting there, you know, with somebody who can remember like where they were at the, you know, the walkouts. And so it's really powerful. And I see, my goal is to leverage that power, frankly, to ensure that La Plaza is regarded as an anchor cultural institution in Los Angeles County, because we are one of 5 LA County cultural institutions. And people don't know that, right? Which means we, La Plaza, like LACMA, like the Natural History Museum, like the Music Center in Grand Park, the Hollywood Bowl, we're part of that for the county. We're part of that jewel.
And you're a Smithsonian
We're a Smithsonian affiliate. And we know how important it is and how critical it is. And this is that opportunity to take it to that next level of, you know, when you come in and you fly into LAX, which I just did the other day, you look up and it's like La Plaza is the first place you're going to go visit, because you want to know about Los Angeles, and you can't learn about Los Angeles without learning about the stories of Latinos.
And let's talk about a city that is nearly or maybe 50% Latino, and nothing like this existed.
Correct.
Did not exist.
It did not. And, you know, if not for the vision of then Supervisor Gloria Molina, who really was resolute in making this happen. And look, I've been a bureaucrat. I worked for the county for 7 years. That's not an easy thing to do. And, you know, we can look back now at the work that she did. And, you know, so many of our community leaders, Antonia Hernandez and Miguel Santana, and, you know, and all of these folks who were just deeply connected to it. And I'll say, I feel really lucky. I've got board members who were around, right? Who were either, they weren't on the board, but they were connected. So we've got a lot of institutional knowledge. And if it weren't for those visionaries, right, we wouldn't have what we have. And so not only do we owe it to them, but we owe it to the people we serve, right? We owe it to, you know, families out in Pomona and up in Lancaster and over, you know, down by the beach. I mean, this is the place where we get to tell our stories how we want those stories to be told.
And the truth. And speaking the truth.
Right.
You know, it does. I'm glad you brought Gloria up because, you know, it did take a village, as someone once famously said. But Gloria Molina, come on, she was then supervisor, county supervisor. And as a matter of fact, the LA Times, I think, set it up best when it was all happening. And this is a quote from the Times. One of the project's earliest supporters, and by all accounts, the person most responsible for bringing it to fruition.
Yeah.
That was Gloria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the first time I heard about, I saw La Plaza before any of you, and you know what it was? Blueprints.
Yes.
Blueprints. Gloria had a small group of people, and we're looking at these blueprints, and I'm thinking, I won't live long enough to see this joint, you know? But look at, there it is.
Here we are.
Here I am. But honestly, God, because when I saw it, I thought, this is going to take 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, man, boy, right? How wrong you were, and thank goodness. Thank goodness. And part of that vision included La Cocina, right? Included what we have now. And, you know, La Cocina has been open since April. I've been really lucky to be part of it. Like I came in, I got lucky. I squeaked right in right before we opened. And, you know, that place really is it's a showpiece in many ways, right? But it's also a place where you can come in and really get an understanding of, I mean, we all know how critical food is to our culture, right? And how much we share who we are and how we are. And, you know, I mean, think about those big, you know, dinners with family. I mean, I did it all weekend in El Paso, right? You all come together around food and what that means. And so, you know, La Cocina is part of that vision. And looking forward, you know, we've got this amazing property that we get to partner with LA County on. And now it's just what comes next, right? What are we able to do in terms of continuing to tell those stories? And so, you know, we've got this phenomenal outside space. You asked, like, what do I envision? I envision La Plaza open during the day, every day. You know, folks come in and they're in the garden and they're gardening. We have this fabulous garden that people don't know about. Yeah. Right. But they're coming in and they're gardening and they're able to connect to the earth in that way. There's music, there's, you know, if you want to just grab a coffee, if you want to walk around and learn your history, but that the space is accessible, that it's open, you know, and so it's endless. It's the possibilities are endless. And I'm just, you know, as you can tell, I hope, really excited about where we're headed.
Yes, and it's contagious. But you know, it's funny you bring up food and the gardens there, because I was just thinking about this the other day. Of course, classes like music appreciation and agriculture no longer exist in schools. But when I was in school, we had an agriculture class. And I remember vividly, you know, maybe I was 10, 11. I think it was grade school. It might have been junior high. I think it was grade. Anyway, we planted, I guess, seeds, and there were carrots, and we planted them, blah, blah, blah. And then the weeks passed, or maybe the months, I don't remember. But when I first saw that green thing coming out of there, it was so thrilling that, I mean, it was magic, you know. So that's why you have kids doing gardening things there. I want to back up to La Cocina for a bit, which is the first museum in the country to explore the history and culture of Mexican food. And God knows everybody loves our food. We have a couple photos, I think, Abelardo.
Oh, look at that. There we are. It was Supervisor Solis. Yes.
Supervisor Solis, who loves a good taco. We all know
that. Yeah. And that was, I will share, we were making tortillas on the comal, right? It's a working comal. And our Marlene Aguilar, who is the cocinera tradicional, you know, the chef, an urban gardener and local chef, and she makes her own corn. She grows her own corn and makes her own maize.
Oh my God! And that was Jimena in the.
It was with Jimena and Supervisor Solis, myself. And it went by fast. I don't remember who else was in there, but I think
there's another photo with a bigger view of the.
Got it. Oh, there.
Oh, that's the KTLA. They did,
exactly.
ABC TV.
Lawrence. Yeah, we had a good time. We were being silly. But that's a working stove. Like that's a straight up working stove. I mean, there's a class right now going on, right? A chocolate tasting.
Right. That's why Jimena's not here. She's
exactly.
Tonight.
She's got her cooking class in La Cocina.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to sign up, but she keeps telling me, no, don't come. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I wonder why.
No, we go back a long way. What I want to talk about, Cocina. You know, you put together a beautiful video because so many of our viewers, are they viewers on Zoom? I guess they are. They're viewing us. You know, live all over the country, all over, and they've never been to La Plaza. So. Right. We're going to show a beautiful little short video so people can really get to see La Plaza. Leticia is going to go take a little break. And then we're going to talk to Karen Cruz, who is the curator. But then you come back, so don't leave the house.
I won't go far.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Abelardo, can we see that? See you in a bit. Such a beautiful and important cultural center, as Leticia said. If you're ever in LA, you've got to go. And if you're in LA and haven't been, you have got to go. You know, Abelardo, what I wanted to talk to Leticia a little bit about too. We have a couple of photos of La Tiendita. Oh my God, they have the best museum store in the country. Do we have those pictures, Abelardo? Am I there? Oh, good. Oh, I love that place. And you know, the wonderful thing is mostly local artists, authors, craftspeople. There's clothing, there's jewelry makers. You can do all your Christmas shopping there, believe me. And everything is so beautifully and tastefully done. I don't know. There's a second photo, I thought. No? Okay. I don't know who does the buying. but they should get a raise because everything there is just absolutely gorgeous and beautifully made. And also, I know they have a very strong board. We have a photo of the La Plaza board. Is Leticia still there? Are you there, Leticia?
Sí.
Come back, mija, because I wanted to show this while you were still here.
Yeah.
Can you identify some of the board members?
Oh, I can identify all of them. I mean, these are long-standing supporters of our board. I mean, on the front, you've got Adriana from AARP, Javier Angulo from Walmart, Lisette Carvajal from Telemundo. Juan Rodriguez is on the left of the KGB Studios. Carlos from Jamie Caso, Selena Santiago, Andy Carrasco, Dr. Lieberman, Laverne University, Raul, Sarah Hernandez, who just won an election, Raul Salinas, and Donna, and Dr. Fernando Gil Torres from UCLA. A phenomenal board. We're missing one or two folks. This is from our gala. But I'm so grateful because they're partners in shepherding La Plaza.
And they're a working board. We all know, unfortunately, some people want to be on the board so their name can be on the stationery. Yep. We've been there, but it's a very hardworking board.
Hardworking. They are. I was with them last night because we had an event for donors, right? Because it's a critical part of what we do, and they're out there and they're working it, and they're, because they believe in it and they believe in the passion. So I feel very, very lucky. I do have to just reference your, just to throw back to La Tienda. I couldn't decide which one of my earrings to put on. Right. I got, these are my, but these are the things that one can get and at La Tienda.
And you know what? We all love the kitsch on Olvera Street. Who doesn't love it? You want luchadora, and we used to go there when I was in high school, and I swear the same taquitos are on the table.
Of course.
So we want that. But in the museum, you see the full scope of silver work and beautiful jewelry and clothes, and it's really a wonderful store.
Yeah, it really is artwork, and holidays right around the corner. I mean,
do your Christmas shopping one stop, but check the hours because I think they changed.
12 to 5, Wednesday through Sunday, open when the museum is open. There's the 24 days of December going on, and Cecilia Gonzalez is our runs La Tienda, our La Tienda supervisor, and the buyer you were mentioning, and I'm not allowed to go into the store very often because this happens.
I thought to myself, if I worked there, my salary would stay there.
Exactly. And there's a tiendita at La Cocina as well. There's another small space, but amazing cookware. And we had an event last night and people bought out the cookbooks and the tortilla warmers, and it's a really, so that's just across the street at La Cocina. So,
and we should get La Cocina is just across the street.
It is across Spring Street, like, a couple 100 feet.
Yeah, it's great. All right, so now I'm going to bring, so now you
can go. Me voy.
Okay, pero don't go away. Don't go away. Okay. All right, I'm going to do a short intro on our friend Karen Cruz. Now get this, curator, you think you just go in and pick, let's put that up on the wall. No. She earned her master's in fine art at CSU Fullerton, specializing in exhibition design and curatorial studies. She also attended the Universidad Autónoma de Guadalajara, Jalisco, and CSU Long Beach for undergraduate degrees in foreign language, studio art, and music performance. I have 2 years at ELAC. So she wins. Zoom in, Karen Cruz.
Hola, mi amigo.
How are you, my friend?
I feel so privileged to be on this Christmas special of 2022. I mean, we're following, you said Linda Rostad, Las Tres Latinas, Leticia. Wow. Thank you for the invitation.
No, we're so happy to do this. This just seemed natural, and it seemed a holiday, the good time to do it. I toast you. Thank you for being here.
Salud.
Everyone has their swag.
La Plaza swag.
La Plaza swag.
I'm going to have to level up for my sweater next year, though. I can see that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That is
you
wonderful.
know what, Mija? I'll send this to the cleaners and you can borrow it. How's that? Because I'm anxious to get rid of it. Now, you're pretty new yourself, really. You've only been there a couple of years, right?
I could say I got hired during the pandemic, and then I was told you can't come to work yet. So I said, wow, I'm not used to that. But yeah, I was very fortunate to be able to come into La Plaza and then come into La Plaza again 10 months later and actually meet the staff.
Wow, it was that long.
It was that long. So I met everybody when they were this big on Zoom, when we were trying to figure out how Zoom worked.
That's right.
Hilarious. But I finally was able to come in here. There were times I'd walk into the museum and I'd be alone. And that's a really strange feeling, to go throughout a museum and no one's here. And I'm just kind of looking at things and going, oh, one day this is all going to come back to life. So yeah, it's been a really cool experience, but I've been here about 2.5 years now. So time goes by really quickly when you're super, super busy.
Well, and actually live there only about a year, really, because as you say, you were working, you were still working, but you just weren't there physically.
Yeah, we had to put everything virtual. So welcome, here's the exhibitions, but you got to get it all accessible and online and experiential. And, you know, Abelardo was the first, jumping on with En Casa con la Plaza, which made such a deep global impact. And then I said, okay, wow, what are we going to do? How do we turn the museum inside out? So when people walk by, they can see stuff on the outside. And then how can they sit in their living room and cruise around the interior of the exhibition space and still see our exhibition? So we scanned every inch of our interior building so people could do that.
It was important for museums and lots of organizations to stay visible and to stay relevant, because we didn't know this damn thing could have gone on for 5 years. Nobody knew anything, right?
Yeah. It was going to be 3 weeks, and then I went to 2 years, and then who knows. But yeah, there was something really special that happened that allowed us to think differently and stay connected while isolated. And I think we blossomed as a staff in many ways, and we blossomed in our community, and new things that we never thought would ever happen came about. And we're keeping them. We're doing both. We still do virtual, obviously, and we're able to finally open up exhibitions and change exhibitions. You know how weird it is to be a curator and we're not allowed to change exhibitions because we don't know when we're going to open?
Well, we're going to talk about some of the exhibitions, but before we do that, let's look at another staff video sending holiday greetings, and we'll come back, okay?
Great.
Do we have that, Abelardo?
Coming up.
I'm jumping around. Abelardo says, where the hell is it? Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Gina Alicia Lopez Ramos, Director of Education here at La Plaza. I'm looking forward to warm tamales this holiday season. I hope you all enjoy a warm and festive time with your family and friends.
Hi, my name is Solis. I'm the Rental Events Coordinator here at La Plaza, and I just wanted to say Happy Holidays and Happy New Year.
Hi, my name is Erin from Visitor Services. I just wanted to take the time to wish you a happy holiday, and hopefully we'll see you here soon.
Greetings everyone from the Curatorial Department. We wish you Happy Holidays.
Hello everyone, Sam with La Plaza Security, wishing you a very happy holiday and a fantastic new year.
Hi, I'm Alondra Verre, the Public Engagement Manager here at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, and I want to wish you a happy and safe holiday.
Hey, this is Ivan from La Plaza. We want to wish everybody happy holidays y Felices Fiestas!
Hi, my name is Gemma Guzman, and I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas. For Christmas, I like to go to Mexico and visit my family and relive our traditions.
Hi, my name is Natalie Martinez. I am the Facility Coordinator here at La Cocina. I just want to wish you guys all a happy holidays.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Alvarez from La Tiendita in La Plaza Cocina, and for the holidays, I love buying gifts for my family and friends.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm wishing everyone a happy holiday season and sending you the best for 2023, filled with health, wealth, and abundance.
Feliz Navidad y Prospero Año, wishing you a wonderful holiday and a great 2023.
What a great group of people. Are there any openings, Leticia? I want to work there. Everybody seems so nice. I'm sure there's a few things, but will I come to work there? I will.
Yeah, I get to work with these amazing people. It's incredible. We have fun together. We get to think of all kinds of creative ideas and events and programs. And yeah, we're pretty fortunate.
I mean, it's important to have fun. This is not to say you don't work like a dog, but you got to love it, and you got to be happy and have fun. And that everybody looks so happy there. Now, we saw a little bit of your mighty team, your small but mighty team.
Yes.
But basically, you conceive, implement, and oversee exhibition programs, both permanent and temporary. Yeah. So when you first came on, obviously some things had been set, I don't know, a year in advance, 2 years in advance. When were you able to start implementing and conceiving certain exhibitions that were brand new? Just like when Leticia came on, she had a roadmap, but then had her own road to build.
Sure. It was actually right away. I mean, there were exhibitions in motion that kept getting postponed and postponed. I was able to walk right into Patriotism and Conflict, Fighting for a Country and Comunidad, which was curated by our associate curator, Esperanza Sanchez, and that recounted the before, during, and after of the Chicano moratorium. And so it involved pre-World War II, different versions and perceptions of what patriotism looks like, whether it's enlisting or whether it's activism or a combination thereof. It involved oral histories, it involved art, both made in the 70s, but also contemporary artists that we commissioned to do murals for that exhibition or create new artworks reflecting on Chicanidad and reflecting on what it means to be a warrior in so many ways. So I was able to jump in and participate and play and help guide and honestly just help bring this exhibition to fruition that Esperanza was curating. And because of that, we were able to open that eventually. But before we were able to open the building, I was able to curate a neon exhibition with Patrick Martinez. And so we were talking about how do we turn the museum inside out to keep it safe. People can't come in the building. Well, they can walk down the street. So we need a neon artist. Patrick Martinez is incredible to work with, and his career has just been so influential to so many people. And we talked about essential workers, and he talked to healthcare providers about what that meant. And he created over 35 new neon works. That was his largest neon mural to date. Wow. And so that was something that I was so excited to bring to La Plaza, especially during a time where you have to think about how do we create things on the outside of the building where people can still enjoy art and community. And that's what we came up with. Yeah, this is a great photo at night. It was really, really powerful. This is just the first floor. We were very heavy on the first floor so people could walk by, but then we also had them up on the second, third, fourth, and fifth floors. And we realized that we are impactful with what we do on the inside, but what if our building could speak? What if our building could be a symbol for our community? And then it happened through his neon work and working together with the community to come up with sayings that was lit 24 hours so everybody could always see them. And so different people would see messages and be affected in certain ways, but having it all together in one place, and honestly running across El Pueblo to the other side and seeing how much our building would glow at night was really, really special. So that was a great exhibition. And then once we were opening, the engine just started, moving faster and faster. We were able to finally get back to a semi-normal exhibition schedule and consider what else can we bring in. Sometimes we felt like, quick, let's flip another gallery in case we have to close down again. You know, what are we going to do next? So it really has
that had to be a real thing, huh? Because you want to plan something. I'm on the board of the Vincent Price Art Museum. Now, if we're safe, then we can do this. But if they're still, then we'll do that. I mean, you know, it was very hard to plan anything, which is why that neon exhibition was so brilliant, because that was safe. You know, that was safe. You did recently have the Margaret Garcia exhibition of her work, right? Do we have some photos of that, Abelardo? Yeah, there's Margaret Garcia. Yeah.
We're besties now.
Is it still is over, right? Is it still there?
Oh yes, absolutely. The exhibition is almost a year. We're having lots of programming around the exhibition. It only opened in July. That's not that long ago.
I have no sense of time anymore, honestly.
That's what happens after COVID. We have a weird sense of time.
It's true. I don't know if something was 2 weeks ago or, 10 years ago. Margaret, Margaret does great work always. But, I think most people, and maybe it's not true, I don't know why I think that, but I'm thinking that curator, they think of artwork and they're thinking of visual arts. But what you did, like with the neon exhibition, and then you did an amazing one, on immigrants.
Thank you.
That was, wow, multimedia exhibition chronicling the journeys and testimonies of immigrants trying to cross the Sonora Desert looking for a better life. And boy, that was powerful. In fact, we have a photo of our very own Abelardo watching, looking at part of it. Tell us about that exhibition, because you had partners in this. It was so massive.
Yes, and we have partners with all exhibitions. It really, you said it takes a village, it takes a pueblo, it takes all kinds of people to put things together. Every exhibition in some way is very near and dear to your heart, right?
Sure.
We all have our favorites or things like that. But before I go into that exhibition, I want to say that, like Leticia mentioned, we're not an art museum. We're not one thing. We're a hybrid in so many ways. I've always wanted to work for a cultural center. My background is art museums up and down California. It is a dream to be able to work for a place that's a museum and also a cultural center. And so what does that mean? It just means that we have more freedom. We're not bound to one form of expression. We can express ourselves in so many ways. So yes, we can have an artist that's well known in the community, a celebrated, person that's painting portraits and iconic places around the neighborhood, and celebrate artistic expression through painting, photography, film, all of those media. But, we're not a collecting institution. So people often say, well, what does that mean? How are you doing this? We rely on other people's collections. We are rotating exhibitions. Nothing is really permanent here, except for maybe us, right? And
I was going to say, except for you all.
But it means that we can have all kinds of conversations. We can have conversations about how we express ourselves, but we can also have conversations about politics, social politics, activism, civic engagement. We can open up spaces and talk about what's relevant now, what's relevant then, how far have we come, what work do we have to do? And so we want to offer in the curatorial department and overall a versatility of different kinds of ways and conversations and stories and invitations to the community in what is relevant now. And it's always connecting with the past and the present and the future. And so this exhibition, Hostile Terrain, is called Hostile Terrain 1994, the Undocumented Migration Project. And some people might think this sounds familiar. And the reason why it may sound familiar is it's a two-part exhibition. So there's an installation called Hostile Terrain 94. It is a pretty massive installation of what we call toe tags. It's a memorial wall map that has different tags hung in specific locations where people's lives were lost. They did not make it along their journey. We say memorial wall map because we're commemorating those people. Every single life is sacred. Every single journey and story matters. And so this particular installation, which has over 3,000 toe tags, it's not possible to really put it on the wall and memorialize these folks unless we invite the public.
The Undocumented Migration Project began.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a cool little sneak peek. So I'm going to.
That was a little appetizer.
So in order for us to finish or complete this installation, we have to do it with the community. So we invite people into these workshops and we explain what this means. And now this installation has been traveling all over the world. I think the only place it hasn't gone to is Antarctica. And I'm sure it's going to be there soon. But all over Latin America, all over Europe, all over the United States, it's a bit of a shock factor because when people are introduced to it, they learn that these are either deceased people or these are missing people. And so you sit down, we talk about what this means, to take a moment and reflect on. You find out what the person's name is. You find out where they were found. You find out information, their age. You
find out that they were people.
Yes.
You know, there is not statistics. Hundreds across the board. Hundreds die. It doesn't mean anything. But when you hear a name or see, I was in a march in Tucson once, too long to go into why, but it involved all this. And on the stage where the speakers were, Linda spoke and Dolores spoke, they had all these empty plastic gallon bottles, empty of water, roped together. And just all around there, and they had found it in the desert. Probably that person never lived to get to where they're trying to get, and those kinds of mementos, like the kinds of things that are in your exhibition, bring it home that these are people. These are real people with human lives and families, and it just gives them a name. It gives them a name.
It gives them a name. It also talks about what 1994 meant. It was the year that the Border Patrol and U.S. government enlisted prevention through deterrence. And what that meant was it was no longer as easy to cross the border. It pushed people to the outskirts of some of the most dangerous places. And what it did is it did not deter people. Nothing is going to deter people if they need to find a better life, if they're coming and leaving their homes and their families for a myriad of ways. And so this is the same policy that is enacted today. That has not changed. Correct. We are still in prevention through deterrence. And so what it did was create a humanitarian crisis. And so that is one part of the exhibition. And that's where we worked with a group of people, one being De Leon, who is I'm sorry, not De Leon. I'm forgetting his name at the moment. Sorry about that. Jason De Leon. He is the director and the founder of the Undocumented Migration Project. He is also a professor of Chicano Studies at UCLA. And, he was doing his dissertation, doing his research in Mesoamerican artifacts, and being out there, he was seeing all kinds of undocumented people all over the place, and he wanted to know more about that. So he jumped into this more than 10 years ago and started doing his research and talking to people, and got a group together, created a nonprofit, work with smugglers down there, record people telling their stories, picking up found objects in the desert, writing about it. He published a book. We have that in La Tienda. Working with a lot of students, working with photographers, giving migrants cameras, giving them recordings so that they could tell their own stories, take their own photographs. And so it was approached to us before I even came to La Plaza. Would you be interested in doing the Hostile Terrain 94 installation? Well, absolutely. But we want to know more. We want to expand this project. They work really closely with the Colibri Center for Human Rights. The Colibri Center for Human Rights is located in Tucson. They're the ones that are doing the forensic science, the DNA testing. They are taking what they find in the desert. They're reconnecting with families. They're bringing closure. They're bringing healing. And together, this is the very first exhibition at La Plaza where they joined forces, and they are now one nonprofit. They're working together as one organization. And so the exhibition, which is upstairs on the second floor, we've got 2 galleries that explains why the memorial wall map exists. What's going on? What's the deeper issues? What are their lives like? What are they experiencing? What are the hardships? What are the issues that need to surface to the top to bring awareness that this is still happening? This is a humanitarian crisis that's going on. We need to mobilize change through education, through opportunities to get involved. And so, you know, we do offer to people, we have a little video. We also have signage to say, hey, this is a very serious subject matter. You're going to be seeing all kinds of things inside this gallery that may trigger you. There's photographs, there's audio recordings of women talking about what it's like to be a female migrant going through the desert. And how it's a different experience than if she were a man. We have found objects that were collected in the desert. Sometimes those are really hard to look at. We have film, we have testimonials where family members are talking about the experience, but there's different stops along the way, reflection areas, if you will. One would be, we have a story booth recording where people can go in and they can shut the door, and we have a microphone that's recording their story. So what we're doing is we're asking people, tell us your story. We're interested in how you came to be here at this moment in time, or your family members. So we're going to be sharing that with the public. Every story. Histories. Exactly. And so we also have film and video. Some are drone footage, and some are footage that Michael Wells, who is one of the photographers, put together of what the landscape looks like. It's a very immersive experience with tall photo murals all over the walls. So it gives you a sense of movement from Central America, what it's like to cross into the border of Mexico, what it's like to go from the jungle through the city, through the desert, the lifelong friendships that they make, how they work together, what the strategies are for survival, what kinds of objects would you bring with you if you were leaving your home and everything that you knew, and you were going somewhere else that you weren't quite sure where you would end up. And so we have journals, and we have interactives where we ask the public, here's some photos of some objects that people have taken with them. We ask you to reflect, what kinds of objects would you take with you? Physical objects that you feel that you would have to take with you on your journey, right? And then I was working with our education department, and the question came up of what non-physical objects you would take with you. And, you know, what are the things, no matter where you are in the world, that you always keep here that help you, that inspire you to keep going, that inspire you to keep believing in your personal mission or your personal destination, or your voice that can change things for the better. And so, you know, while we know it's a serious and at times really heavy exhibition, but if no one talks about these things, we all are connected to immigrants. We are all connected, especially in Los Angeles. It's never stopped. It's part of who we are.
Well, how long is the exhibition there?
About a year. It's through May.
Okay, yeah. So I know La Plaza is closed from 12/24 through January 11th, but after the 11th month, you must check it out. It's just stunning. It's just stunning. Let's bring our beautiful Leticia back for a little rap and a little rap. I mean to wrap up. So Abelardo, are you there, my friend?
Here I come. Here I am.
Do we have any people have any questions or just people?
Yeah, we have some comments here. Mario Juarez says, love the conversation and respect for the human spirit. So thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
Human spirit is what the whole museum's about. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying, come see us, Mario. We're there. We're here for you.
I also think we should thank all the guests. I mean, I'm not going to name them all, but all our happy hour guests that have been amazing. We couldn't do it without them. And what we've been creating, really, as Leticia knows, and we all know, it's an oral history. It's oral history. It's where you're going to hear, you know, Dolores or Eddie Olmos or anybody talking for an hour and a half. You usually get a 3-minute segment on some program, but really, you know, so we do thank all our beautiful, beautiful happy hour guests and the ones we're going to have.
That's right.
There's still a lot out there. There's still, I have friends that go, aren't you going to run out? And I'm like, what, are you kidding me?
Never, nunca.
What, are you kidding me? No, we don't. So anyway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Feliz Navidad, Pascuas. No, that's Easter, right?
Yeah, nice try.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
You each want to have a parting, Leticia?
I just thank you. This is wonderful. And this is such a wonderful example of community, what you do here and the En Casa con la Plaza, and the fact that this really, I wasn't here yet, so I can say this fully and objectively. This was a big part of just kind of keeping things going during COVID. So I applaud you and Abelardo and the rest of La Plaza team way before I ever got here. So I feel privileged to have been here tonight.
Thank you. Karen?
I wouldn't want to be in any other place. I don't have to explain what an altar is to people. We, as Leticia always says, we don't have to ask permission. It's a really wonderful thing to hear that. It gives us a sense of freedom. It gives us a sense of unity. And there is
community. That's the operative word, isn't it? It's community. It's the storytelling. It's preserving our history. It's a cultural center. It's a hub. It's where you want to hang out and see friends. It's the best. Abelardo, what do you have a parting shot?
No, this has been a wonderful experience. I've been there for a little over 5 years, and I concur with Karen. There's no other place that I'd rather be. And adelante.
Adelante.
So I want to toast you all.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud. Felices fiestas.
Salud, salud.
Amor y pesetas.
We'll see you in 2023. Oh my God. That sounds like, you know what? When I was in school, I thought, wow, the millennium, I'll be 60. I'll be really old. Well, hello.
Where's my flying car?
Who could have dreamed that anybody would live to see 2023? So I salute you all. Abelardo.
Gracias.
Thank you all.
Adios.
Thank you. Thank you all. Happy
See you
holidays.
next year.
Yes. The good things.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Dan, Leticia, Karen, for joining us on En Casa con la Plaza, Dan Guerrero's Holiday Happy Hour. And thanks to all of you that joined us tonight on En Casa con la Plaza. If you joined us on Zoom or on YouTube, if you didn't catch this whole conversations or you want to see it again, you could watch it on our YouTube channel at La Plaza LA, on our Facebook channel at La Plaza LA, and also on our website at lapca.org. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Union Pacific Foundation and Kaiser Permanente. As Dan said, we will be closed from December 24th through Wednesday, January 11th of 2023, but we'll be open this Friday, this Saturday, this Sunday from 12 to 5, and also next Wednesday through Friday from 12 to 5. So bring
She's doing a commercial for the tiendita there.
And La Tiendita, of course. Come and visit La Tiendita. Come visit House of Terrain 94, Calle Principal. LA starts here. And also La Cocina right across the street on Spring Street at 555 North Spring Street. Also open from 12 to 5. You can visit our latest exhibition there, The Legacy of Cacao, and then also visit La Tiendita. Right now they have holiday specials at both La Tiendita and La Plaza Tienda. So, hey, bring your wallet, bring your debit card, your credit card. You know, we got something for you. And then when you're done, head on over to Olvera Street for some champurrado. We got chocolate in the house. There you go. We have chocolate in the house. Yes, thank you, Karen, for that reminder. Oh, lots of chocolate.
I'll see you at the tiendita. I'm going to go Friday. I'm going to go Friday.
Okay, then we'll be waiting for you. Okay, well, muchas gracias a todos. Muy buenas noches, and we'll see you real soon here on En Casa con La Plaza.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye. Ya se fue. Bye-bye.